We are Tony and Carrie Rosetta.
Little hands, shoeless feet, lonely eyes looking back at me. Will we leave behind the innocent to grieve? On their own, on the run, when their lives have only begun. These could be our daughters and our sons.
In high school, most adoptions were taking place through China, the little girls that were left in China. Now there's a lot of other countries that are open to adoption. The laws have changed that over the years. Some countries are harder to adopt from because of the way people have done. Some countries are easier to adopt from.
And just like a drum, I can hear their hearts beating. I know my God won't let them be defeated. Every child has a dream to belong and be loved. Boys become kings, girls will be queens, wrapped in your majesty. When we love the least of these, then they will be brave and free. Shout your name in victory. When we love the least of these, when we love the least of these. Break our hearts once again. Help us to remember when.
Things that were easier. We didn't have to make a trip over there to take paperwork. We could fax things. Things got to be, scanned and emailed. Our agency was in Birmingham. We didn't have to make a trip to Birmingham every time we turned around because we could fax and we could email and we could sign things and get them back to her that way. It also made it easier to make a decision on what agency we wanted to use because there's a lot of information and reviews. We had chosen one agency and read some reviews and said that's not for us. So it really helped us, I think.
The really neat part about the technological piece was we actually got to see the children prior to ever meeting them.
Even making the decision, we got reports.
Yeah. All of their health information was sent to us. We could see a preliminary report. We also saw pictures of the children, plus we had several video clips of the children playing.
Okay.
So we could actually see them, hear them talk long before we ever met them. Through digital photography, we could take pictures of their new home and their bedroom and toys that we already had. And that was sent over so they could see where they would be living before we got there too.
And then I made an alphabet book that had English and Hungarian words in it with pictures from actually our home, our cats, all of the things, their grandparents. So I took that with them. So they had knowledge of what some of these things were, what they would look like. They knew what your car would look like before we got home. So they were able to experience some of that and feel like it was more home when they
We were only children hoping for a friend. Won't you look around? These are the lives that the world has forgotten, waiting for doors of our hearts and our homes to open. Boys become kings, girls will be queens, wrapped in your majesty. When we love the least of these, then they will be brave and free. Shout your name in victory. When we love the least of these, when we love the least of these, if not us.
One of the things that I've appreciated is through the whole globalization process is how it makes the world just a little bit smaller in a way. And we've been able to connect with various Hungarian cultural groups and to learn recipes to share with the children to help them have some remembrance of what their homeland was like as well. I would certainly recommend adoption to anyone who is very serious about it, But at the same time, I would give caution to say that it's a process that's not for the faint of heart. It's a very long process, a very consuming process, both time-wise and emotionally as well. And I think as a couple, it takes a very strong married couple to be supportive to one another throughout this process. But I think once it's all said and done, you can look back and say this is a very wonderful thing, and it was well worth the time and investment that it took to bring it all about. But certainly it is for someone who's not faint at heart, and that's a definite thing.